over the allotted time, but hopefully that gave everybody enough information to form your questions and stuff. So what I'd like to do is maybe ask all the speakers if they want to come up and move the chairs here, and then the audience can ask questions. And what I'd like to propose is that if you have a question, just indicate that you have a question, and then if it's for a specific individual, if you have a comment, please indicate that as well. And I want to give everybody a chance to ask a question and make a comment. And we have about half an hour left in the class. So if you could limit yourself to one question to start with, and then build from there. So while this gentleman gets situated. These things can move up if you want.
Okay.
So anybody have a question? Yes.
I have a comment. I am very greatly concerned about just the track going through Bakersfield. I think what has happened is people are greatly exaggerating the number of businesses and places that it will affect. It is to stay more or less on the Burlington Northern Santa Fe rails. And I have taken those maps that you've taken, found a person who would blow them up for me, and have gone all along both proposed routes. Those businesses are not being affected. Your office with the MRIs would not be affected because it stays within the corridor that is already cut by a railroad. That is very, very noisy and will not be anyway, the high-speed rail is not anyways near that noisy. I think the number of jobs or the number of businesses that you think are going to be cut, it isn't going to happen.
Can I address that, please?
Sure.
They're not my numbers, ma'am. They're the city planning director, Jim Eggers' numbers, who is very smart and has studied the EIR. He knows it like the back of his hand. If you read his administrative report of September of last year, you'll find those numbers, ma'am.
And if I can address that, you said that they're going to share Burlington Northern tracks. That is not true either. There is something of great separation. High-speed rail cannot run on a surface streets because you cannot have railroad crossings on it. So this thing is going to be raised up 40 or 50 feet or whatever it is, and it is going to be on pillars, and it's going to be whole new tracks built. It is not like they're not going to use the same existing tracks.
True.
Yeah, I'm really torn about this whole thing. Number one, I was here, okay, and I totally sympathize with the churches and the schools that want to save their buildings. But I remember when St. Joseph lost its school because 178 was going to be built. Now, can any of us here imagine living without Highway 178? No, okay? And I'm old enough to remember when we were saying the peripheral canal is going to destroy ranches, homes, blah, 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 and it cost too much money. So it didn't get built. Guess what? Now we're building it at 200 billion times the cost, okay? Bottom line, we need a high-speed rail sooner or later, okay? Our infrastructure sucks. We're going to have too many people moving here. We've got to do something. I think that what you are doing, it's as painful as it is. We got a lot of freeways in this town that go nowhere. You know why? Because people protest, oh God, not my lot. And they had enough political clout to stop it. Okay? So now, okay, people say, God, not my lot. Well, it's painful, but we've got to do something. You cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater. We need fast track. And what Ray said was so true. Pretty soon the air quality is going to be so bad, we're not going to be able to build another medical office. We're not going to be able to build another school. Why? Because the air quality here is going to be so bad, unless we do something about it. So my feeling is, okay, your thoughts and your feelings are very short-sighted. You have to think on the long haul. And I'm old enough to remember the long haul.
If I can address that, yes, I think your concern is very well taken. That is how we started getting involved in this, because we thought our properties were going to be affected. But as we learned more about this, we saw that this train and the way it is being planned is going to have a significant negative effect on the entire state's economy and our county's economy. Our properties, my property, I don't care. You know, I mean, it goes, that's fine. We'll replace it somehow or the other. But overall, negative impact. We do not have money. The state of California this year is $9.7 billion in debt. The country is, we will get $16 trillion of debt by the end of this year. Okay? We do not have money. We are turning into Greece. One reason, I mean, it's great that Europeans have these trains, but in doing those trains, they have decimated their freight trains. They do not have freights going around. Okay? And at the same time, in their model, in the socialist model, European countries are going under. Do we want to not have our quality of life at all? That is what we will have if we spend money like this that we don't have. That is our point. We are minuscule. I mean, our house or whatever it is not a point. That is the reason we learned and we started raising our voice as a grassroots organization against the entire project, not just Bakersfield.
Yeah, just for transparency, my name is Gene Tackett. I work for High Speed Train. Part of my income as a consultant is derived from the authority, so I want you to be aware of that. But one of the things that I think is very important is facts. And some of the things that was presented by, say, Bakersfield are opinions. And you're rightful to your opinion and this argument. And I think that's how this country grew. We can have different opinions and we can argue. But the fact of the map that you showed on the impact of the station is not an authority map. I got concerned because Jim Clark from Clark Pest Control was on TV, was interviewed, I think by all 3 stations, saying that somebody came by and said his business was going to be destroyed. Well, part of my job was to go out and let people know if they're in alignment or not. In fact, Mr. Taylor's house is right in the middle of the alignment near Callaway.
One of the alignments.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
one of the problems.
Yeah, correct, one of them, that's right. And I think your office will be impacted. I'm not sure you're correct. I think you have some impact. But the names of all the businesses that say Bakersfield contacted was not fair. When you look at that map up close, I went and looked at it. It's a Kerncog map. There is an MOU between the city of Bakersfield and Kerncog to study the impact of the whole area. So Clark Pest Control is not going to be destroyed by the high-speed train. So you misrepresented the facts. And those 282 businesses, it's just not true, Dr. Patel. And I have respect for you.
That is true.
But no, it's not.
Yes,
Just listen to me. The facts are that those buildings, they have more to fear from Alan Tandy and redevelopment. The high-speed train is not going to take out Clark's Pest Control. It's just a fact. That's why he was not opposed. So, and the other fact is that you have stated that the heavy maintenance facility is going to be built in Fresno. That's your opinion. The decision has not been made because the alignment through that area has not been picked. Shafter and Wasco are still in the pick, and the decisions on who's going to build the trains has not been made. That's your opinion quoting the newspaper. I'm just saying these are a fact.
Let me tell you what my opinion is based on. Okay. The high-speed rail project is supposed to cost $98 billion. We only have $3 billion. The $2.7 billion bonds have not been approved yet. Once they are approved, we will have $6 billion. Now, the plan says that the central ICS, which is initial construction thing, will run somewhere from Merced to north of Bakersfield, okay, which is Wasco, whatever it is, right? It's just tracks. We do not have rolling stock and we do not have electricity. That is a fact, okay? They are saying that $4.15 billion will be spent between Merced and Fresno, okay? They're going to run out of money. The feds, they want $62 billion of federal money as grants to go ahead with it, which you know is not coming, okay? They want another $40 billion or so in California state money. We will have to raise and sell bonds on it, okay? I guarantee you there is going to be huge opposition from the people against those bonds because people are tired of paying taxes and seeing that money go down the waste. If it is a good program,